Good morning. This is a second installment in this little tessellation exercise. This is really neat. You really need to try it. The other day I posted one with a triangle. Today I'm going to post one with a square. I'm going to take the index line and I'm going to move one to about here and I'm going to move one to about here. Now I'm going to zoom in really close to those index lines and I'm going to take this and I'm going to make our 0 right there. And you're going to see why that's pretty important. So now that is the 0, 0 of the page. I'm going to take our 2-point line and I'm going to start here, control, and it's perpendicular. I only want it to be 2 inches long and I want it to be at 0. Now it's 2 inches long, so I really want it to be 1. So now the edge is on that line. Now I can just move it down and you can set how much it moves at a time, and we're going to set it at 0.25, so it's going to move 1/4 of an inch at a time. All right, we got plenty of room now. Zoom in here a little bit. We're going to make a duplicate of this line. Control D. We're going to move our rotation node to there, and I'm going to make this 90 degrees. Now we've got 2 lines. If you happen to have Corel X6, you can use the swirl tool, or a 7. And I'm going to swirl this just a little bit. Okay. If you don't, I'm going to show you how you can do that too. Take the shape tool, add a node, click on your line, add a node, add a node, add a node. Take this node, maybe go like that. Okay. Now I've got this line. It is 0.006 because it's reading the curve. I'm going to make a duplicate, Control D, and I want it to move over 2 inches, so I'm going to leave everything the same. I'm just going to take away the 0 and add a 2. I'm going to go over here, make a duplicate, Control D. It's negative 236, and I only want it to be a negative 236. So I've moved it up 2 inches. So if you start with something square, it doesn't matter if it's 1 inch, 2 inch, 4 inches, just move that much at a time. Group this together. Now we're going to erase our indexing lines. They're no longer needed. And we're going to show you this. Okay. This side will fit into that side, and we're going to show you how you do that. We're at a negative 2.3. I want to take away the negative part, move it up. Well, I didn't make a duplicate. Make a duplicate of the whole thing. Set this to 0, take away the 2 inches. Group these together, or just select them together. Make a duplicate. And now I want to move this over 4. So now, and you could keep doing that forever. You know, make these as big or small as you want. So then we've got an item that's 4.4 inches. I'm going to group them together for a second. I'm going to put them in the center of the page, hitting the P key. I'm going to draw a 5-inch by 5-inch box. I'm going to put it in the center of the page. Now, same as the other video, make a duplicate of this. Let's go ahead and group it together. Make a duplicate of this. Control D. Now ungroup this one. take this line out, and there'll actually be two lines. So if you were just going to cut it out like this, you could go around and just duplicate. So it's only going to cut that line once and not twice and leave you a bigger curve mark. But we're going to take both of them out. Now, if you would take this and cut out one piece of wood, this is going to be empty. Take two pieces of wood and glue them together. After you cut this out, glue the edges down. You just use some weights. Then you only need one of these, and you'd want to cut one at a time, because if you cut them like that, they would leave curve marks. We can erase all these, and then you could take, and I bet you there's two lines there. So now we've got just one line around, and you could double check that. Yep. All right. That's your piece of wood that's going to fit in there. So you could make this piece of wood, you know, walnut, and, you know, put it here. Make the next one maple, cherry, whatever, and just play around. You know, start off with one that's spore like this, make it small. And I haven't made one yet. I've been wanting to make one, and be really interesting. A little side note: I'm a woodworker, so if you made two pieces, one that was solid 5-inch, and then one that was cut out, and glue those two pieces together, then when you glue in these pieces, there's gonna be a little bit of a kerf mark, because you basically cut that line for this piece and that piece. But after you get all four pieces in there, glue them down and let them dry. You know, put some weights on them. Don't have to clamp it. Then what I do when I have all four pieces in there, I will take the same wood glue and smear it all on the edges. Just pour it out of the bottle and put it on the edges, and then take my finger and just rub it into the joint and rub it around, rub it around, rub it around, and then take just an old rag and wipe it off. Then if you happen to have an orbital sander, within about a minute, start sanding that. What the glue is going to do, and most yellow glues dry clear, most woodworking glues nowadays dry clear, it's going to take the sawdust and the glue, and it's going to fill in those kerf lines. It's minimal, but it'll fill in any crack or any line, and then the sawdust from the wood is going to blend in and make it look like there's no line there whatsoever. Thanks for watching.